I've spoken with some people about this before in terms of, when they talk about things like attention training, I thought it would be visual. But they've tried this in studies in the past. It's very well documented and studied that visual attention training does not work. The results are not good. But auditory attention training is phenomenal. It really works. In studies, clinical studies, it's showed substantial and significant benefit. And also, sounds are ideal because they exist outside your mind and outside your body. Amazing. That's where we want to be. And they provide concrete targets for us to direct our attention outward. Okay, so the 3 core skills, as you remember from the training, is selective attention, one of them. Choose one sound and you keep your attention anchored on it. So this is strengthening your sustained attention and your ability to resist distraction. Very important. When you're training your attention every day, day to day on anything, whether it's you're solving a problem, you're thinking about things, or you're doing something, a task, or you're involved with someone else, you want to be able to sustain that attention instead of getting distracted by thoughts, by emotions, by mental processing, or by just anything else that's happening around you, right? Very important. Ability to resist distraction. It teaches you that you can hold your attention where you decide to, even when thoughts or other sensations compete for it. Then you practiced attentional switching. This is where you rapidly switch your attention from one sound to another. And that's building flexibility, which is very important, flexibility. That reduces your tendency, or our tendency, to become stuck on worries, on intrusive thoughts, or these types of symptoms. So switching is very important. And over time, you'll learn that your attention is movable and does not have to remain attached to what's bothering you. Very good. We practice divided attention, where you expand your awareness to include multiple sounds at the same time, right? It broadens your attentional scope. And what that does is it counteracts the narrow tunnel-like vision that's commonly found in things like anxiety or depression or, perseverative worry, rumination. This narrow tunnel-like vision, you must know what that feels like. So divided attention helps us with that. Just kind of, because divided attention uses substantial mental resources, right? If you've practiced taking in 6 to 8 sounds at once for 5 minutes at a time, it's a heavy cognitive load. You can't do much else, which is amazing, right? Because it gets your attention outward and not inward on your thoughts. And so that helps us avoid a narrow tunnel-like thinking. So today, like I said, these thoughts that I used to have still occur, but they're less compelling. And I'm much better today at redirecting my attention instead of automatically engaging with every thought that's in my mind. And my physical sensations are less intense than when I used to pay more attention to them or monitor them. They're less intense today. My mind recovers more quickly after it's pulled into worry. That is very significant. And I have much more confidence today in my ability to shift my mental focus when I need it. Again, why does this training reduce things like anxiety? Okay, because these conditions or ailments are often maintained by constant monitoring of internal experience. So our attention training interrupts this cycle by repeatedly directing your attention outward. So when attention disengages from symptoms and thoughts, we get emotional intensity decreasing. Physical sensations feel less alarming. Negative thoughts are less believable. And coping feels more possible, right? Nothing has to be argued with or analyzed, right? No thought has to be. There's no obligation to argue with or analyze everything. The relationship with our thoughts and feelings changes because now our attention is allocated differently. So there's an important insight here that I'd like you to remember. The goal is not to eliminate thoughts. The goal is to stop giving these thoughts automatic control over your attention. So thoughts may remain in the background, but they don't dictate where your awareness must go. That's a profound shift because that creates psychological distance and freedom from your thoughts. I don't know if you've heard some of those spiritual gurus in the past say, creating this distance from your thoughts. I'm not the mind, I'm not the body, blah, blah, blah. And then I used to think after hearing something like that, well, how do you do that? And nobody had a clue how to accomplish something like that. This is one way, and a very powerful, effective way to accomplish that. So learning to decouple our attention, right? If you have distressing beliefs or thoughts, they don't need to disappear immediately. What matters is that you learn to disengage from them. And negative thoughts can still exist in your memory, but they no longer trigger this prolonged self-focused processing because your attention is now more flexible, can be moved. You have control over it, but you're also training it to do things on its own. Okay, so some other benefits of this is we're creating space for better thinking, truly. When your attention is not consumed by things like worry and self-monitoring, your mental resources are freed up. Those things consume so much mental resources. They're now freed up. You can use them on better things. You can have better reasoning, clearer thinking, more balanced perspectives. These are going to come up naturally on their own. You're going to look at things differently. You're going to see things differently. You're going to arrive at better conclusions and assessments of things instead of seeing them negatively. That's going to happen. I hope you see that. And please, I'd like for you to share with me what you're seeing and experiencing, the benefits over time. Because often new insights arise without forcing them. It just happens. It's amazing. And by the way, when this emotional intensity is reduced, that can lead to spontaneous changes in how your life problems are interpreted. So let's see here. If you're sharing this with anyone or discussing this with anyone, what can they expect? Faster recovery from worry, less rumination. Oh God, I know about that. Worry and rumination, these are two of the bad actors here that we are eliminating. Reduced symptom monitoring, greater mental flexibility, improved concentration. It's crucial for work. And a stronger sense of control over your attention. Anxiety, worry, and rumination, we talked about that. They depend heavily on where your attention is repeatedly directed. It's not the thought content. It's not the thought content. It's where your attention is directed. You can have all of the negative thoughts in the world. If your attention is not on them, they are not going to bother you. That's a shocker. I mean, nobody understands this yet. I mean, it's common sense, but very few people know this. Okay? We're not trying to force our thoughts away. We're building the ability to choose where your mind goes. All right, so just to close this down here, this taught me that my thoughts are not commands. Your thoughts are not commands. Thoughts are not facts. They are simply events in your mind. Thoughts are not facts. And they're not commands. You have no obligation to act on anything. Okay? And your emotional distress is sustained by patterns of attention, not the thoughts. Okay? And the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes to direct your attention intentionally and spend less time trapped in things like worry and self-focus.